We are back, joined by Anna Lidstro, Head of Sustainability at Spendrups, Cecilia Almèr, Sustainability Expert at Stratus, Camilla Dewoon, Executive Vice President, Head of Communications and Sustainability at Scania. So hi, Anna. Oh, look at us blondes here changing the world. I love it. Hi, Anna. Welcome back. Thank you so much for returning, and also live this time. Great to have you. And as I remember right, you are a devoted skier. Do you have any big plans this season?
Yes, actually, I got the premiere already this weekend. We were up in the Fjällen, the Swedish Fjällen.
Oh, with Lennart and Klaus.
No.
Okay.
But it came about 40 centimeters snow, so
wow.
It was an early start of the ski season this year.
Sounds like some good powder. All right, and Camilla, yes, and so what is it within sustainability work that keeps you going?
I think that it's great to be in an industry that is one of the biggest problem here, and I would like to start with that because it's one of the biggest problem, but also the bloodstream of our society. So we must do something. That triggers me a lot to think about everything that we can do. And also it was said here by Lennart, I think it's a systemic change, and that triggers me even more. So we cannot do it alone, and we have some customers here, and we have also suppliers here I've seen in the audience. And this is something that really is a change that has to be done from all ends of the society. And being a team player, I love that challenge.
Fantastic. And Cecilia, so same question for you. What keeps you going within sustainability work?
And for me, it's something a little bit different because I'm more helping companies and organizations and to understand sustainability. It is complex, but if I can make the complexity of it a little bit more easy and through that achieve improvement, that's what keeps me going.
And back to you, Camilla, what experiences or skill set of yours do you think matters the most in your current work?
I would say that I'm not 20 years within sustainability, but rather 20 plus years within the commercial arena. And I love business. And I think that we cannot do this without connecting sustainability and business. It has to go hand in hand. And that I think is a good skill set because I understand the operations of our customers and what is a benefit of them. And I think that we were into it here before with Malin as well. In business to business, you calculate differently. So the challenge of the business case, yes, here and now might be different and a little bit difficult, but long term, it's the right thing for the customers as well, stepwise to go into a sustainable transport solution.
And Anna, coming from a brewery company, you probably tasted most of your products. Just to inquire, I have to ask, do you have a favorite beer?
Yes, of course. So I would recommend organic Melleruds.
Oh, I love
Melleruds.
Melleruds.
Which is Pilsner style, which also is fantastic in the alcoholic-free version.
Yes. Also very important. Perfect. Thank you so much for answering that question. All right, and on to sustainability. So, are sustainability matters discussed well enough in boardrooms? I guess this goes to all of you. How do you feel about the boardrooms?
I can start. I mean, you have to get it on the agenda. Maybe it has not been asked for. Now it is asked for, but a couple of years ago it was not, I would say. And how do you get it into the agenda? I mean, first of all, you have to make it part of your business, I think. So, and explain and teach the board of directors, for example, why it is important to you. And we've seen a lot of arguments in this study why it is. It's not only to drive a climate change, but it's also to attract customers and employees, and also build the attractiveness for your brand from investors, for example. So you have to kind of educate what is then your contribution in your business to get this attractiveness. And I would say for Scania now it is, because it's part of the strategy, it's part of the KPIs that we follow up. We are also science-based targets. So we have the skill set now by education, but we also have the target that we need to follow up on.
Do you have anything to add?
Well, I would just add, if you're a smaller organization, I think that's not always the case. It's more like there's a need of knowledge on the board. and you need to get the training to strengthen the sustainability knowledge, and then you can have the discussion on the board for the sustainability issues on another hand. Yeah.
Knowledge is very important. Anything also to add, Anna?
Yeah, I would like to also join and say that I think it's today it's important also very much on the board level for many different reasons. So Spendrups is a family-owned business, so of course we have this long-term horizon, and also the sustainability work has been with us for very many years. We launched our first sustainability report already in 2009, and that has also led to a lot of progress. But and now we have this science-based target raising the ambitions. But the last years we've also seen quite a huge changing in ambitions from our customers, and that puts also a lot of push on us to increase our performance within sustainability, and of course all the legislation coming in, which is a direct responsibility for the board. So many positive factors moving this further up on the agenda and also increasing the speed.
Mm-hmm. And how can sustainability become a cornerstone in companies' strategy and culture?
Well, I would say just one thing that we discussed earlier, heard Malin say it as well, is to create good conditions to collaborate and cooperations. If we can communicate and talk and, of course, see how we can collaborate to support the actions and the process, I think that's when we can get the team spirit going and see all the different competences work together. But the strategy, of course, is to get the board to understand the responsibilities and also the opportunities which are within the sustainability. And if they do that, it's much easier to incorporate it into the strategy.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that it's really important to understand the why you need to work with sustainability. It's both, of course, about reducing your negative impacts in terms of environmental issues and also the social side, but it's also very much about finding this value creating. How does it actually help your company to increase your competitiveness and your attractiveness towards both your consumers and your customers, and probably also you will be more attractive to new talent, and you will create loyalty amongst your employees and so on. So you have a lot of values on that side, which is also something that comes with the new CSRD, to also look at the financial side. So you need to have those both aspects.
Definitely. And so what is the recipe for success when you want to engage a whole group of companies or an entire organization on the sustainability agenda? So Cecilia, as you are working with multiple companies, maybe we can start with you on that question. Do you have a secret sauce on that?
I wish, but I would say, as I said earlier, the collaboration. And of course, right now we see that cross-functional work is getting more and more important. So different areas and competences needed. But I would say also to make sure that everyone counts. If you want the whole organization to work with it, you need to be able to assign responsibilities throughout the organization, and to communicate how is this important and why are we doing it, to communicate a greater picture. And by doing that, you need to have a common platform or somewhere where you can work together and you can visualize your progress and communicate it, and for everyone to see at their own level.
Yeah, everyone plays a specific role in their own part, and that's important. Do you have anything to add on that, Camilla?
No, I would like to go back to the foundation, I think, is the culture. I mean, that's even stronger than targets or strategy or whatever. And I think that to build values in a company that is actually connected to the sustainability, and as an example then from our company in Scania, we have the respect for the individual. I mean, why do we drive these questions? Because we respect the humanity. And we want to keep the globe for the humanity. And then the other thing is that we also drive elimination of waste, which is really not wasting anything that we don't need to waste. And things like this, I think, creates a great foundation. But then I also agree to then you have to have the knowledge, and then you have to break down all the targets and to something actionable. So I think there are different steps that you need and foundations that you need in order to succeed.
Do you have anything to add on that, Anna?
No, but I really agree on this, making it concrete so that the sustainability actions will need to happen in different parts of the organization. So the purchasing department needs to work with sustainable procurement, and in your operations you need to work with more efficient production and renewable logistics and so on. So you need to break it down so the work actually happens throughout the organization.
Yes. And how can leaders create the required conditions to get an organization and employees to act and make a difference within sustainability? Cecilia, maybe we can start with you again on that, as you're seeing many different organizations.
Yes, I think that first of all, we say that we need to get sustainability incorporated in its strategy, the business model, and in everything we do. But it's not that easy. We can say it, but how should we make it happen? So it takes time, effort, and a change of attitude. And as you said before, it takes time, and everyone talks about it. So even though you worked with sustainability for a long time, there's still a lot to do before it's throughout the organization. But one thing is the leaders need to shift the focus on sustainability so that it's not you get the idea sometimes in organizations, the sustainability is just hard, it's a burden, it's extra work, but to shift it and to see the meaningfulness of it, and also a motivation factor, not just for the sustainability team, but throughout the employees. I think that's very important. And through communication, again, why are we doing this?
Always good to have the intention. And do you have anything to add on that, Anna?
I can just add on if you have the why and the reasons and so on, I think that as we were into breaking it down to actions, and me coming then from business, I love performance in results and whatever. So if you can actually get actions connected to results, CO2 reduction might be from an action that you're driving within whatever part of the organization, that is also trigger and celebrate when you actually reach the targets on whatever that might be from one action. I think that's super important, because otherwise it becomes for the greater good, which is nice, but also really celebrate the success and steps that you can take.
And as the demands on reporting only tend to increase, how can we secure a continue working with structured things that impact us the most, risk or connected to science, and not just to act, do and measure what is stipulated by the law? I don't know who wants to answer that one first. I'm kind of looking at Anna for some reason.
But I think you need to do both. So you need to work on your reporting and measure and all those things, which is very time demanding and also quite complex and difficult. But you also need to, of course, use the results and look at them and see, okay, for example, what is our climate impact and where can we start to work? So we also start, before maybe we have everything perfect, we start doing actions meanwhile. So at Spendrups, for example, we did our first greenhouse gas calculation in 2020. The first version was maybe not perfect, and now we need to improve it year by year, but we could use that calculation to actually see that, okay, we need to work more with reducing emissions in when it comes to malt, barley, for example, or in logistics and electric trucks and so on. So it will help you. You need to take all the reporting data and actually use it. Don't wait until everything is perfect, but start working at the same time. And that will also make the reporting easier.
Do you have anything to add on that, Cecilia?
No, just agreeing with you, of course, but data collection and the disclosures takes a lot of time. So not just to get stuck in that, and to continue the progress and to work with the actions and to see how can we work with this and have these two thoughts at a time, working with them, not to just have the sustainability team again, but to spread the responsibilities.
Yeah, and I think that maybe to add on that, as we said, it has to be divided into actions in different parts of the organization. The same with the reporting. It cannot be on the financial department, something happening on the side. It has to be something that is super connected to the business values you have in different parts of the organization. And that is tricky now because we get, 600 frameworks that we have to report upon and in different ways and shapes and so whatever. So here, this is systemic to try to shape the reporting to some standards together, what gives business value. So it's not reporting for the sake of reporting.
So is there any practical advice on what steps a company can take to decrease the burden and free up time to get things done, moving from ambition to action? Maybe we could start with you again, Cecilia.
Well, it's easy to say, but of course you need to have effective processes going and the right support system and an appropriate organization. And we see a lot of companies changing their organization, how they work with sustainability right now. So that's very important. But also to just lift the question, who should be responsible for the reporting? It doesn't necessarily have to be the sustainability officer. It could be, of course, but to free up time, again, the sustainability team are the experts. They need to focus on the actions and to real improvements. And I think that's a good question to ask yourself. How is our organization and who should be the responsibility?
Do you have anything to add on that, Anna?
Yeah, I think, systems, of course, but also to have this skilled team. And you need to have sustainability, experts, but you also need to have controllers, but you also have to have a lot of people driving change in the organization who actually can take and start the work. So it's very many different skills that are demanded to sort of get everything done.
As we're just kind of wrapping up everything, we often hear that Sweden and other Nordic countries are at the frontier of sustainability efforts and results. So are we truly as leading as we would like us to be, or are there areas that we still need to accelerate in order to keep our pole position and maintain that momentum? We can start with you.
Yeah, no, I think that we are in the forefront. I don't know if we are leading. However, in sustainability, we have, of course, to look at the whole globe. We cannot only optimize here. But I think that we have a benefit from trying to optimize the system here. And I would say just a shout out right now, we are going through a big change within transportation for electrification. And as I said, we cannot do this alone. So the shout out here is that if we can have the same view by politicians and so on to build an energy, for example, the grid we need and the infrastructure and so on, if we go hand in hand, it will be a competitiveness for this part of the world, but we will also show that it's possible. And we have the capacity of doing that. We have the economy to do that, and we have the skill set to do that. So really, I think that we should strive for being in the lead going forward as well.
And the cultural motivation in the Nordics is also...
Absolutely. It's a corporation also and team-oriented, and I think that's important, and the connection to nature and so on. I mean, we have a lot here. That's a great base.
That we could share with everybody in the rest of the world as well. Do you have anything to add on that, Anna?
No, I agree, and that it's so important that we keep up the pace. We cannot, we're not ready yet. There's so much more to be done, so we need to sort of,
so many businesses that need to get involved and start participating.
And also not just the businesses, I think the whole society, of course, because the ambition in companies are quite high, especially in the Nordics. But the society need to keep up, as you said.
Well, it has been so wonderful to have all three of you here, Camilla, Cecilia, and Anna. Thank you so much for all being here live with us in person today.